Someone else is working too, apparently. Well, only 2 days later, I'm back at my boat, and yeah, first I have a look at the battery, see how it's going, and then look inside. Oh man, I had to do some tricks, but I got it running again. I think it was too cold, but I have no idea. But rewiring and doing a bit of discharging and whatnot helped. So if I switch this off now, wait a little bit and switch it on, it does what it should do. So this is perfectly alright. Now I want to to saw into pieces all the things I took apart last time. Grammar. Alright, next I really want to get rid of all the benches and those things, but first rid of the water because it's nasty and I don't want to get wet if I slip or something. Alright, there is no water in any compartment now. Okay, no water is a little bit too much said, but most water is gone, only just a little pit over here, something really small. Now I want to get rid of the benches, finally. Phew, so much garbage. And almost everything is gone. All the benches are away. Only this kind of drawer or the kitchen. Here was the pantry. That remains. And interestingly, you can see it from here. Those small wall sections are actually kind of this composite foam and resin thing. They are not really part of the hull, so they're just basically glued to the hull by one layer of GRP, so I think I'm perfectly safe to remove them. All the benches are now in medium-sized bits in that silver bags, which don't have a zip cord. That's a bit annoying. I never thought that I like to have a cord on my garbage bag. Whatever. Now I think, oh yes, no, before I confirm, this one needs to go, then I do something else. Okay, this is proof about my theory about like the one layer of GRP holding some construction things in place, like this one. This basically was here and broke off. Need light. Thank you. The problem is now that I really can't tell for now. This is the wall. This is the hull. It seems to be just another layer of GRP. I don't know if this is visible on the camera so good, but basically here is the edge of one of this. Maybe this is alright. Here you see the fibers of one of the glass fiber mats, but they seem to end over here. Also, this is kind of here, and you have, this is a bit higher than this, so I think that this patch over here is just basically the attachment, quote unquote, for the wall section. So if I basically sew here, the wall should come off. It's just a theory, but I have another place where I could test this. This is the forward wall. See where the where the clock was once, and I although it is not that good visible here, I suspect basically the same thing. I suspect a small layer of GRP. Oh, interesting. If I lean on the wall, you see this piece of wood moving here. I suspect this a layer of GRP to basically hold it in place over here. The paint is kind of brittle. Okay. So I suspect basically just a layer of GRP holding this here into place and connecting it with the hull. Although I'm not quite sure if this is really the case. Anyways, I think if I zoom into here enough to go through this outer layer of GRP, basically this outer resin layer, then the foam itself shouldn't be connected to that. Then it should come right off. So at first I will see if I can remove those wood pieces here. Then I see what I can do with the wall. Whew, I'm kinda nervous because I don't want to damage my hull, at least not so much.
No, I'm not gonna cook crystal meth right now, but sewing into this with the angle grinder is kinda dusty, and the dust is, to be honest, not healthy at all. But I found an interesting thing here at the transom. I'll show you just in a second. Where did I switch the camera? Okay, what I found is basically, I need to hold the camera still to see this. Here is basically, I'm not sure what to make of the, what to think about this, but my initial thought when I saw this was, holy shit, someone added like a few centimeters more to the boat, because it appears that the main structure with the like the double hull, kind of the sandwich construction, ended over here, because here is no sandwich construction. Here's just one layer of pretty solid layer of GLP. You see, it's really solid, and it is basically attached to this one wire, this kind of a knee-shaped thing, and you can clearly see here. So breathing is so hard in this. You can clearly see here how this is basically going through this all the way up. Ugh, here's water. Okay. But anyways, I wanted to basically test my equipment, the angle grinder here on this, because this needs to go anyway, and when I do something wrong, it's not that tragic actually. So let's see. That thing goes like a knife through butter. Wow. I even managed to basically grind off the edges, so because it's bent, you can't just slice through, so I decided to go into the material in consecutive steps. Ugh, and I'm full of dust. Look at it, so dusty. Ugh. Okay, so this looks good. I will continue here and then make my way up to the front, but I will leave this one in because of what I explained earlier, that I think this is the original way it ended. Oh, something's growing here. Huh, interesting. But maybe I will grind off the edges a little bit to clean it. I don't know. That's basically a good idea. Let's see. Okay, so this is working pretty good. I managed to grind down a little bit until I reached the actual hull, which I don't know is absolutely necessary right now, but I do it anyway. For here, to try out some things. Also here, And now I think is the appropriate time to just do the cutting, not really the grinding down, but the cutting on one of the structures inside.
Alright, as you can see, I got rid of focus. Yeah, I got rid of the small elements over here, like this one. This one is still attached. So this basically confirms my theory that those elements, those standing knees, are they hanging knees, standing knees? I think they're standing knees. This is a hanging knee. Anyways, it's just attached by a single layer of GRP to the hull itself, and the hull itself is in, yeah, let's call it mediocre. Whereas this here is like a good example of something that's like a bit moldy and not so good. And you see the fibers, you could peel the fibers away. So this is not that good. But overall, it's a pretty good shape. I also decided to let it be for the stay because I'm pretty exhausted. Here I actually tried 2 different methods of getting rid of wall sections. The angle grinder itself is pretty good to remove things while grinding, but on this rather thick things it's not that efficient. And also I think, like for the last step of those both, I used a chisel. That's why the GRP broke away in that direction. I think this is not possible to do here with the real wall, because this is not gonna bend in any direction, like, because the whole cockpit is attached to it, right? So my idea was to just drill a hole with a drill and then use the jigsaw to just saw right through it, and I just shoot that piece down to see how it's performing. It's quite good. You see, this is basically in good shape. It's not soaked through or washed out or something. But that leaves, like, I think it's roughly 3 centimeters high of this, like the rest of the wall, and I'm not sure how to get rid of that. So I could basically spend a whole lot of time grinding it away bit by bit, but this is rather tedious. The idea that's coming to my mind is that it's quite possible to and much easier to use a chisel and just basically do this the same way with make a cut with the angle grinder and then use a chisel underneath and put it up, because with less material over here to hold it in shape and to apply tension to it, it is quite easy to, or easy to remove. But this is all theory for now. Have a look around. It's so less now. Wonderful. Until next time, bye bye. Small addendum. Look at this. Something is really wrong with you. I think I should bring him with me, bring him home and see what I can do.